Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. I'm Heartless. I'll be playing Gille treble, and this is Fairy Circles. Joining me today is.
Hello, hello, I'm Vamp, and I shall be playing the He Who Magic Man.
Wonderful. Uh. Oh, geez, I haven't had a faintest idea as to what kind of which day it is.
Like, in universe or, like, in our, like, world?
I mean, I know, in universe, like, what day is it now for Mersel and Gil to be able to be having this casual conversation? Is Mersel at work? Is Mersel home? I don't know.
It's probably, like, maybe, well, it is the weekend, so, like, it's probably the weekend, and
Mm-hmm.
he's not at work right now. Or if he was, he went home earlier.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, So, Marcel, as you're getting back from work earlier today, because it's the weekend and you've been working hard a lot lately, um, you smell the distinct smell of something burning in the kitchen.
Gil?
Um, Hi, Marcel!
And Sal's just, do we need a fire extinguisher?
No! I've got it!
Do you really?
Yes?
He's just going to walk over to the kitchen and peer in and judge that for himself. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Gil is busy sliding a smoldering pile of what probably was his attempt at pancakes into the garbage.
And Sal actually kind of brightens at that because, oh, Gil is cooking. Like, he wasn't expecting that. The only thing he's ever known Gil to make was deviled eggs.
That's because he actually knows how, because you taught him.
Exactly.
But he
So,
was. There's an open recipe book to the side, and he's just sitting there scratching his head like, what did I do wrong?
and Sal walks over and goes, oh, you're making pancakes?
Well, I was trying to. I He points down at the smoldering pile. You see how well that went.
Um, and Sal takes a look at the smoldering pile, and I think he actually would reach forward and tear a chunk off and, like, eat it.
Roll a Constitution save. Ooh. You have to
Oh,
struggle not to spit this out immediately. It's ash. It's.
I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll something really quick. So he keeps a straight face. Inwardly, he's dying. He's dying. He's pretty sure he's lost hit points from this. Outwardly, he keeps a completely straight face and goes, "It's not that bad."
Even with a 19 for insight, Gil cannot see through Marcel's guys, and his face brightens. Really? Cause it tastes like shit.
Well, it does, but it's pretty good for a first try. You
Mm.
know, when Bob first started making pancakes, they were a lot like this.
Really?
Yeah.
Had Bob never cooked before either?
Well, yeah, I think. And he kind of gestures with one of his hands, like, no man's.
Hmm. I guess they would be the kind of people to just, I don't know, eat sandwiches all the time, I guess.
Not even sandwiches. Remember those awful ration bars they gave us?
yeah, those. Disgusting.
I know, I was trying so hard to be polite, but they were terrible.
Ugh. I didn't even eat it.
You did
I
it?
took one I took one tiny piece, and when nobody was looking I threw it away. It's terrible. I'd rather
No, why
eat
didn't you
candy.
tell me? No, why didn't you tell me? I could have given you something legitimate to eat.
Mm, well,
Wait,
Gil just
this is
kind of shrugs. Um, Make sure to turn the stove off, and sets the admittedly burnt pan into the sink.
And Saul just looks at Gilles and tilts his head and goes, do you want me to teach you how to make pancakes properly?
No, I actually wanted to talk to you about something else.
Oh. And Saul's kind of like giving him like the go on gesture as he probably starts trying to wash like the burnt pan in the sink.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make a strength check for that because the it's burnt onto the bottom really, really terrible there.
I can hear the twang comments at what I just wrote, and I am not hearing it. But he rolled a 16.
Mm-hmm. So you're starting to make a little headway already because you're a cook. You're used to cleaning burnt because sometimes that just happens.
Yeah. No matter how good a cook you are, accidents still happen.
Mm-hmm. So Gil kind of rocks on his heels and turns and leans against the counter, and he says, "So, well, Bob told me that you went to a place called Evershore Isles. I was kind of wondering
Mm,
why you disappeared for that period of time, but well, I was hiding in Bob's suitcase. I couldn't really check up on you."
yeah, I was wondering where you went. Hey, Gil, roll insight for me.
Straight D20. That's a 7.
You see nothing. He seems closed off. Although that is actually something to notice. Why is he like not why is he closed off? Like why has he suddenly is like revealing nothing and showing nothing over like what should be like a regular normal topic?
Hmm.
And he's just, oh yeah, I went there with Tobias and Primrose, my partners. He's got that sappy look on his face again. Snap him out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And well, that's where I got you guys souvenirs. Remember the mug?
Yep. I'm gonna roll hammer space. Yep. And Gil reaches into his jacket and pulls out the mug you got him in pristine condition, like it's never been used.
And so just kind of gives like a kind of like happy, but also like he gives like a happy grin at like the side of the mug and kind of like scratches the back of his neck sheepishly and goes, I didn't know what to get you, so I just got you one of like those novelty mugs from the souvenir shop.
Oh, colossum. he
Awesome.
he looks at it for a couple of minutes and puts it back. I was well, hoping you could tell me a little more about the Evershore Isles because you've been there.
Uh, well, we didn't get much of a chance to explore.
Why is that?
We kind of went there like with a goal in mind, so we couldn't really explore. And there was this whole thing with the I'm not sure I can tell you that, but there was this whole thing with the palace guards and whatnot.
Hmm. Palace guards, huh? Mental note: avoid palace guards when I go there. Okay.
Wait, you're planning to go to Evershores?
Yes, I have a significant business there. Um, I'm gonna roll hammer space before Gil continues. He reaches into his jacket and pulls out this odd looking magnet charm and he points it at you. You have disadvantage on your next roll.
Oh gosh, he's looking at the
And
magnet like, what is this?
he fiddles with it for a second and he says, There's a half Mara there that I have to kill.
Oh, all right. Now I know why he did the disadvantage. Let's see how well he keeps his composure. Yep, you notice. You definitely notice that. Yeah, that he knows what you're talking about immediately. The way he suddenly like dropped his punch into like the kind of filthy burnt char bits water is any indication.
Mm-hmm. And Gil raises his eyebrows and says, You got something to talk to me about, Mersel?
I yeah, I he leaves the sponge in the water. He knows he'll regret it later when the sponge is dirty, but this takes precedence. It's just stars. I forgot to tell you guys about it, did I?
What happened?
Nothing, nothing, nothing too bad. Which again, like real insight on that, Gil.
And unfortunately, I've got disadvantage on this. Because that's
Oh
that's
god,
that's how the
Sarah?
disaster magnet works. Oh, but that's not too bad. So I rolled a 14 and a 15, so that's a 14.
Yeah, that's actually not too bad. Like, it's not like it's a very high DC, but yeah, there's so much. Like, that sentence is loaded. Not that bad. It. He's lying.
Gil places the magnet back into the hidden pocket in his jacket, folds his arms over his chest, and actually straightens up and stares at Mersel.
Look,
Really?
don't look at me like that. It was we well we me and my partners we met at the ECCR, right?
That's the place where they take your colors, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. And when all three of us went there, there was some issue with the color samples, and I offered to help.
Okay.
So the three of us went to go check out the color samples down below, and we met someone.
You met someone.
Yeah, about 7 feet, real kind, blonde with purpley smoke. A bitch.
Blonde, purple smoke.
How about
Definitely a half Mara, right?
definitely?
Huh.
Yeah, I looked it up after he used that weird smoke thing in his fight.
So he dyed his hair.
And well, he was the same person from. Do you remember when we all first met Someone tried framing us for stealing the jewel.
So hold on a second. Wow, that's a fantastic roll. Uh, Gil's eyebrows shoot up, and he slowly nods. I catch the didn't catch sight of him, but I saw his shadow.
I caught sight of him. Yeah, it was Kyle.
Well then.
And he's actually like he's being surprisingly open with this. Like you get the sense that he's still withholding like information related to exactly what went down or how it pertains to him specifically. But he's actually being rather open about all he knows.
Mm-hmm.
And he's working his brain trying to think, and he's like, "Oh, he's a second star warlock, or at least he was when I encountered him. That's how he teleported from place to place." Not
So
sure.
he's a warlock that can teleport. Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's. I don't know. Like, I do not like the second star, but I will admit that having half Maras or demons as his warlocks isn't usually his forte. But take what I say with a grain of salt.
Um, I don't actually think they're demons.
Oh,
No, I think they're dark, some kind of dark fairies.
oh,
They live for an awful long time though.
yeah,
Immortals.
that's. But imagine that's still living forever. So yeah, that's about all I know about him. Oh wait, no, hold on. When we were in Evershores, we did go and he's referred to on Evershores as the Starlight Puppeteer because he made a new spell, a, a puppet spell.
Puppet spell.
Hey, Gil, roll insight on that.
And you're gonna have to roll insight on Gil too because he's been oof
Oh, nothing.
oof oof. Yeah, Gil seems very calm and measured. Oh, wow! I rolled a 3.
Neither of them see anything. Okay. I guess they're both just too wrapped up with their own like emotions and like feelings.
I'm keeping them hidden.
And well, yes, yeah, he is known as the Starlight Puppeteer because he did the puppet spell. And well, that about sums up my trip to Ravishers. There's a lot of details just living out. Like you don't even have to roll insight for this. There's clearly a lot of missing holes. Like why were they going to Evershores in the first place? What the hell happened when he fought Kyle in the ECCR, etc., etc., etc. But he is like genuinely telling you all that he remembers about Kyle himself.
Do you think he has any weaknesses?
Well, he did say he was a Mara, right? Like we did theorize that he was half Mara.
He is half Mara.
He probably is weak to light and fire.
Mm. Okay, so pack some smite then. He
Yes.
he lifts his hands and cracks his knuckles.
And Sal actually like grins at that, and like there's a shadow over his eyes as he goes. And Radiant's magic would probably hurt like a bitch. Why? Why exactly did you want to hear about Kyle?
Oh, because simply because I have a friend,
Mm.
and this friend. I'm going to roll something
Oh god.
to see if Gil can actually keep it together. No, he cannot. That is a nat 1.
Oh boy.
So, it was a nat 1 plus 5, because this is a wisdom saving throw, and no, that's not going to do it. His expression darkens further, and his tail starts to lash back and forth behind him, and his where his fingers are wrapped around his arms, they're starting to dig into his jacket, causing a kind of sound as he scrapes against the metal. He's been breaking, my friend. And I can't stand by knowing that's been happening and do nothing.
Breaking? Like,
He calls himself Violet the Toy Maker. You can probably infer what that means.
oh yeah, he definitely can. So actually swallows at that and goes, yes, mm. Well, when I was on Evershores, I didn't actually, while we were on Evershores, we didn't actually come across Kyle himself.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what I told you about him making a new puppet spell?
Yes. And
We
he nearly growls at that.
we met someone he put the spell on. Well, for reasons that I don't think it's my place to tell you, we couldn't get spotted by the castle guards. So we were blending in and everything. And we met this guy, and we didn't realize up until well, Prim has special goggles that let us see into the ethereal plane. And well, when we looked through it, we saw before he could do anything. Yeah, so he took back control. And he basically he screamed for the palace guards at the top of his lungs.
Mm-hmm. So it's definitely going to be hard to get to. Where was that place? My friend said he was last. Hangman's Point. You can't just do something like that.
Ill mm, and Cell's actually real inside.
Mm-hmm. That's nat 20. Holy
All
crap.
right. You can tell he's concerned and angry and everything in between. Looks a little scared, not too much, and not. It doesn't seem to be of Kyle. It's more that he's scared of you for you. And he goes, and you notice also that he has taken off his hat from his head, and he is playing with the rose pin on like the band of the hat. Which with a 20, you do remember that the rose pin only showed up on his hat after after the whole incident like in Evershores. You only like first saw it when you guys met again in No Man's.
Mm-hmm.
And
So,
he goes,
oh yeah, go ahead.
"Oh, you first."
Gil's gonna eye the rose pin and then look back up into Mersel's face. Where'd that come from? What's it do?
It's a spellcasting focus. And he holds the rose pin up with one hand and he casts light. And yeah, light bursts from the rose pin in the shape of a flower.
Hmm.
But you know that Mersel already has a wand. It seems weird that he has like a random extra spellcasting focus.
Who did it belong to?
I don't remember their name.
Hmm.
They were Gille. Hmm. I did say we went to Evershore's for a purpose, right?
Yeah, and you didn't tell me.
Hmm. You've been in the studios. Do you remember seeing Hope?
I'm gonna roll history to see if he does. I'm sure there were plenty of times where he. Uh,
Oh, yeah, it's a big ass strange machine.
that's a 9.
You
So
know,
he looks at you quizzically. Hope that was that
uh,
person you were going to introduce me to.
yeah, but she's not a person. She's a machine. Well, you've been in the studios. You must have seen that organ. I guess that would be the closest thing I can akin to describe.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Um, he breathes in, breathes out. Well, that was what we went to Evershore's for. Hope was in Kyle's possession when we beat him in the ECCR, and when he ran away, he left behind the keys to his dimensional clubhouse, and inside it was Hope.
Hmm.
And we could tell pretty quickly that she didn't belong to him.
Not with a name like Hope.
We didn't know it at the time. All we knew was there was a strange machine, which was, it seems pretty clear, wasn't Kyle's. There were all these burnt notebooks that we had to give to Bob to translate.
Mm-hmm.
And when we first went to Evershore's, we were looking for who Hope originally belonged to.
Did you find her?
Yes, but not before we went to. There's a place in Evershore's called the Astro.
Called the what?
The Astro.
Diaspora. Hmm.
Or maybe more accurately, I should say, there was a place in Evershore called the Espero.
Oh. I see.
We went there because that was the last place anyone on Evershores remembered seeing the creator of Hope. And, well, it hasn't rained there in years. Everyone there is either dead or gone and was just quiet. No one was around, and we eventually got to the castle, and well, we found out exactly what happened to make the kingdom that way.
Let me guess. It was Kyle's fault.
Yes, remember what I said about it having not rained in years?
Mm-hmm.
Hope, one of the things Hope can do is change the weather.
Oh, you're just telling me more and more and more things just to put this man further and further and further into his grave. Oh, I cannot wait to wring that man's neck.
He actually looks like Mersel. Like he doesn't murder himself. He doesn't actually mind it if you war, but he doesn't like murder himself. But like this once, like he doesn't even protest or anything. He's just yeah. This Roseman, you did ask where I got it from, right?
Yes, I did.
Well, I found it on the side of like because well, when the rain they promised didn't come, the people attempted a coup,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I found Roseman on that site. It used to belong to one of the, I assume, rulers, since they were likely dating the princess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His tail lashes back and forth violently, hitting the cabinets.
Yeah. How exactly do you plan on confronting and fighting him?
Well, the first step is finding where the hell he is. Because as much as my friend said that he was at Hangman's Point, a hunted man does not stay in one place. That would be stupid.
It would be- And are you going alone?
His expression darkens further, and he doesn't say anything.
Gil, Gil, answer me. Are you going alone?
I wouldn't want anyone to get hurt because I have decided that someone needs to die. What?
Gil, you think you're not the only person who wants Kyle dead. You know that, right? I did mention that I went to Evershar's along with my partners, and they were there for the entire thing. And all three of us helped Kyle in the CCR.
So you're in.
Oh, yeah, I'm in.
He slowly nods, and his hands screech against his uh jacket as he takes them off and lets his hands hang by his side. He's
And
he's been shaking with anger this whole time, and now is when you notice, because
Self looks at Gil, looks at the angry lines, like looks at like the anger visible in every line of Gil's body, and he holds out a hand. He holds out the hand and like he holds out the hand and like he sticks his pinky out. Well, Gil, promise me you won't go for Kyle alone. Preferably, I would want you to promise you wouldn't go for him without me. But do know that I get involved in a lot of stuff. So please, at the very least, promise me that you won't go after him alone.
Damn, I've made a lot of these kinds of promises in the last month.
Well, it shouldn't be a problem if you're intending to keep it in the first place.
He looks at your pinky for a moment, and his tail slaps against the the counter, the cabinets behind him. What's one more promise to keep all the other promises? Right, Psychopomp? And he raises his pinky and grasps Mersel's. Fine, I won't go after him alone.
And he kind of squints at Gille, and I'm gonna do something real quick. Alright, that's 16. He also squints at Gille and goes, I know I know Psychopomp is likely always with you, but that do not go for Kyle alone with only Psychopomp. I'm so glad he rolled 16 on his intelligence there.
Gil grinds his teeth for a little bit and tightens his pinky. I won't go without at least 3 other people with me. How about that?
I can live with that. And so kind of tightens his own pinky and he goes, and I promise, whenever we fight the showdown with Kyle, I don't care what I happen to be doing at the time. And I honestly don't think my luck would make me get into something around the same time as this would inevitably happen. But I promise I'll be there as well. Okay? I promise I'll be there when you fight Kyle.
I look forward to it.
And so actually as Cell like unlinks their pinkies, he actually shuffles in place for a bit before he gives Gil a hug.
Gil's initially surprised, and it kind of just makes him immediately stop his tail slowly, just not swinging and lashing back and forth, and he looks up for very slowly returning the hug. He seems to be getting better at hugs.
Cell's actually kind of like buried his face in Gil's shoulder, and you hear very quietly, "You have to be careful with him, Gil. He can take so much." Which I'm not making you roll insight, but again, he hasn't told you exactly what happened in the ECCR.
That just makes me want to kill him more.
Not without me and at least 3 other people you aren't.
Yeah, I already promised.
I know. I know you won't break a promise. And he hugs Gil for a little while longer before releasing.
You know what's funny?
Hmm?
Vamp is such a chatterbox, but I haven't heard him in a while. Has anything like that ever happened to you? Haven't heard your
Well,
patron in a while?
my patron's far less present than yours. Like, I do hear her every once in a while when it's something important, but I wouldn't really find it out of place if she hasn't talked to me in a while either.
Hmm.
I'm sure they're all right, Gil. They're your patron after all.
Gil reaches up and bats at the symbol dangling from his horn. It goes jingle, 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 jingle. Hmm.
Hmm?
You're right. It's probably nothing.
Mm.
Okay.
What did you just roll?
Deception.
How much did you roll?
um, I rolled a 13 plus 7.
Fuck! I'm gonna roll inside, but like considering you rolled for 20, like well, I have to roll 16 or higher. Holy shit, not 20! Oh god, the timing of that.
So, after he says, yeah, I'm sure it's no big deal, he just kind of looks really off into the middle distance. And known Gil for a while now, having been living with him for a while now, and he's bothered by the fact that he hasn't heard his patron in a while.
And so looks at Gil. And well, he doesn't actually stomp on Gil's foot. He does, however, like nudge it with his and goes, you called me out on memory lane for hiding my feelings.
Mm. Oh, yeah, right, I did do that. Well, mostly I was calling you out for hiding that you were hurt, you dumbass.
I wasn't even hurt, at least not physically.
Gil crosses his arms over his chest and looks at Mersel like, really?
He stares back. This coming from someone who told me to use moonbeams somewhere he was standing.
I probably shouldn't be trusted when I'm angry.
But
Because I was pissed.
that
And I
well, I
didn't
don't
care.
I don't make good decisions when I'm angry either. But stop trying to change the subject. Talk to me. What
It it's never really been this long before. Like I said,
did
he's a chatterbox. He loves the sound of his own voice. Sometimes I can't even get him to shut up.
did he say anything the last time you both met or were together?
He was annoyed at me for making a promise to Sandy. Because it sounded like the promise I made to him.
Ah, so actually winces at that.
But
It
he's
could be.
still my best friend. I don't know what the hell he's worried about.
Well, emotions rarely follow logic, do they?
I guess not.
Good. Hmm. Maybe he just wants some space, at least for the time being.
Maybe. Let's talk about something else.
Yeah. And Cells, hmm. I'm
So,
gonna make some.
d- d-
Wait, you first, you first.
did you know that I'm the one who charred your roof at work at your work?
That was you? Listen, I wasn't even there at the time, so I don't know. I came back and everyone was soaking wet from the fire alarms going off and sprinklers turning on.
Well, you see, Bob asked me over to help him set fire to his paperwork.
Oh my stars, you're a bad influence.
I mean, we started off just by doing it in this little trash can, but well, we had some gasoline and I have dynamite.
Burying his face in his hands. He's burying his face in his hands. Muffled from the hands. Repeat it, underline, bold it, italicize. You're a bad influence.
Aw. I didn't stick around long enough to see anyone's faces, but I bet they were. Mwah.
I know. Well, I know for a fact that Bon was pissed.
Well, I'm glad I didn't actually tell Bon about that when I went to go see him. Them.
Oh, you went. Oh, you went to go see him?
Them. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You went to go see them?
Yeah, I told Bob I would.
Uh,
Gil's,
there.
I'm not gonna make you roll insight. Gil's looking a little uncomfortable now.
Yeah, Sal notices and like changes the subject quickly. Hmm. hmm. Actually, I'm gonna roll something real quick.
Okay.
Making it disadvantage. God damn it! Why is this so high?
What?
Fucking hell! You'll never. He doesn't say it. I want
Wait, is
to.
that, oh jeez, puppy. The neighbor's dog is going off in the apartment. Gil just looks and goes, seriously, we're trying to have a moment here. Could you just shh? What was that roll? Is that a deception?
No, that's actually wisdom saving. I wanted to see if Sal would tell Gil about something, but he doesn't. Hurrah! He rolled too high.
Gil's going to reach up and press against his chest as he's standing there. Yeah, I am. Bob was worried about me for some reason, so I told Bob, just to assuage his worries. I think that's the right word. Uh, and then I'd go see Bon about it.
Well, you you were you were kind of stabbed.
Clean through, but I'm still real and I'm still here.
Yeah, I know you are. Ill trouble wouldn't you wouldn't disappear from someone like that.
How dare they try?
Oh, there they indeed. At least we put up a very good fight.
Definitely. I think you had her coughing or something. She's coughing up smoke. What was that?
Oh, that wasn't me. And he actually looks kind of proud, like when he straightens up to say this. That was Bob.
Oh, that was Bob. Amazing.
Yeah, Bob had the really smart idea to cast heat metal on that pocket watch of hers.
Ah, yes, a pocket watch. She was holding it pretty tightly, so.
Hmm. Well, yeah. I mean, I can do Eldritch Blasts and stuff, but Bob was the one to deal like the most damage here.
Hmm. Some god took pity on a girl named Clara. Gave her powers to be a upstart. Gave her the power to steal time and mess around with people's identities.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes power given to the wrong person can be a terrible thing.
You'd think the god would have known better.
It honestly depends on the god because, like I said, some gods they do not know better. And he makes a face. Like, no need to roll inside. You can tell he's thinking of the second star.
uh, kind of ruins the vision of all powerful if you are
I'm.
really they're not infallible. And
They
that's
aren't,
funny.
I suppose, but I don't know. I guess the fact that they aren't infallible, well, makes them a little closer to us, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I've only ever met he counts on his fingers. Well, if we don't count her, you know.
She's an upstart. She's probably. I don't think she's a full god, to be honest between you and me.
I don't think so either. We hurt her pretty badly. I don't think like we would be able to do that with an actual god. And
So, not
well,
counting her,
I think I've met two gods.
too.
Yeah. Well, one of them's my patron, of course, and he taps the sigil on his hood.
Mm-hmm.
The other one I met on the bus stop when it was raining.
When it was raining.
Yeah, she was well, she wasn't even. Hmm. Have you heard of misfortune?
I'm gonna roll religion. Gil thinks for a second and he slowly shakes his head no because that's a two.
Well, you must have heard of the Luck Trinity, I suppose.
Well, uh, um, could I just roll religion again at disadvantage? He's not heard of misfortune. Uh, he he looks completely lost.
Oh,
Um,
um, well, the Luck Trinity is or the Big Tree, or whatever you like to call it. They're three goddesses who control the domains of lucks, different kinds of luck.
huh.
And we have three. There's Lady Luck, who's good luck constantly all the time.
Hmm.
Everything goes well.
That seems boring.
Like, well, what's the point of honestly? Like, what's the point of anything if you can't do anything? Everything's just given to you. I don't think that would be a very satisfying way to live.
Oh, it's not.
And there's the Wishing Star, who's my patron. She's about she's about more passive luck. It's more what I give is what I get, basically.
Hmm.
It's also kind of why I get involved in stuff all the time. And and there's Misfortune, who's well, uh, and you kind of see like he's actually like starting to like ramble a little because this is something he's interested in and passionate about. He goes, well, the Kidnap Kingdom likes to just boil her down into one or two traits, like just bad luck. But she's more like the setup to a story. The the thing that kickstarts everything else. She's she's not just bad luck or misfortune. She's basically the whatever can happen will happen.
Hmm.
And I met her at the bus stop.
Oh, weird.
I think one of my friends is a misfortune warlock, and
Oh, really?
he yeah, and his bus came up to this bus stop, and misfortune boarded as he went off, and we talked, and apparently he met the wishing star.
Huh.
And hmm,
I've never actually met anyone. Any loud, large deities before.
I mean, I don't think. I don't think. Hmm, I guess depending on the deity, that might be a good thing.
Probably. I'd probably piss him off, and then we'd have a, a whole nother problem.
And Sal just groans at the idea and goes, "Ah, well, I'd be sure to keep my weekends open to go and save you from a deity."
Hopefully, the next one I meet, I won't piss off, but I don't know. I can't make any promises for that.
Sal actually making a prayer hands and going, well, here's hoping that you meet Crankle or Prismathone. They're like the two deities that's hardest to piss off.
Okay, so I know Prismatone. Well, I generally know of her.
Yeah, she's pretty nice. I never got to meet her personally, but one of my friends is a warlock priest.
Hmm. Oh, I know someone who's I think he's a cleric of her.
Ooh. Well, if they have rainbow motifs or like hair or I don't know, if they have rainbow motifs on their person, they're likely a warlock or cleric of her, yeah.
Hmm. He's got rainbow hair and rainbow markings on his face. You
Yep,
want to roll
that's
insight?
yep, yep. 20.
Just for funsies, how much is? I'm not going to use that. I just wanted to see at disadvantage how easily he would hide it if he was even really paying attention to what he was saying right now. But as Gil is describing this cleric of Prismatone, his smile gets a little softer, and his tail kind of starts doing little spirals.
Please tell me the spirals are in the shape of hearts.
Yes.
Sal takes one look at this and is like, hmm. And he is actually like thinking back to their first FPS together, Guilty Pleasures. And he's like, is this the person you told me that you didn't know the name of?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Sandy actually invited him over, and we all went to this carnival of hearts the other day. And his name's Sammy.
Sammy, huh? That's a good name. I'll make sure to remember it. And like, there's like this tuner scene where like he's thinking like thought bubble and mental cell like inside his head is like writing Sammy down as potential kill boyfriend. Question mark.
Uh. You punched me in the face.
Oh God! So what
I
did you do?
so well, the first time I met him, he got really bent out of shape when I used charm person on this I think it was a guard at the theater.
Uh, hmm. And so just like, well, I don't. Hmm. On one and well,
And
I'm glad
then
that you at least let
and then
me.
he heard about how I got into the studio afterwards, and so he punched me in the face like he said he would.
Oh. Hmm.
Fantastic start to our nemesis relationship.
Sal is not getting involved in this. You know what? He's not getting involved. He's not. He's staying away from this with a 10-foot pole. Like Gil's weird courtship rituals with this guy is he's not getting involved.
Mersel is washing his hands of this mess.
He is literally like he's washing his hands of this. And he's just, well, at least go a little easy on him since his Sandy's friend.
Oh, I'm not gonna do anything bad. I mean, I'm gonna do plenty of things that are bad, but Vamp.
Oh, sorry. I kind of died. There's someone yelling out of my outside my window.
Oh, okay.
It's not actually like outside my building. It's more like someone's yelling on the street.
All right. Um, but
Uh,
when Gil said he's going to do something bad, he smiles a mischievous grin.
and so this sighs and goes, all right, just keep away from the studios for now, okay? I think you're going to give the poor owls, like, I think you're going to make them lose their feathers out of stress.
Oh, don't worry. My next scheme has nothing to do with the studio.
That's a relief. Look, feel free to come by every once in a while. I wouldn't mind the company.
Oh, am I allowed?
Do they know that it was you behind, like, the entire thing? I'm pretty sure they think the White Fox did it.
That's very fair. You know, I did approach the other day without a disguise, and nobody really batted an eye. So
Yeah, yeah. Like, you're probably allowed in. I'm pretty sure. No, Bon filled out my paperwork, and I'm pretty sure I saw him put your name down. It's like, I don't know, one of the people who can visit.
I okay. So I hope none of that gets to any of the bounty hunters that any numerous bounty hunters that seem to think they're going to make it big by catching me.
I don't think he actually looks like he's laughing a little. Like, the idea is laughable. Well, I don't think any of them would ever manage to, but honestly, well, there's no safer place than Dodo Studios, don't you think?
That's fair. I mean, I heard somewhere that the engineer gets how many assassination attempts a day? At least 10.
Oh, stars! Don't even get me started on that. You know, I gave him boots of kicking for Animus. I
Oh.
thought, like, well, he gets like into the situation so often, he might as well have some, like, he might as well weaponize what he wears. He actually got me this nifty thing, and he's gonna roll hammer space. And he takes out the spatula.
Oh, well, what's it do?
Well, it's just a spatula for the most part, but and he hits like he doesn't hit Gille with it. He hits like the table with it, and there's like this loud like tuned sound effect like when you hit someone.
Mm-hmm.
But it can double as a weapon too.
Ah, nice.
I mostly use it for making food though, and like slapping Jack's hand away whenever I'm making cookies.
Jack. Hmm.
Hmm?
That doesn't happen to be Lucky Jack, does it?
Yeah, it's him. Why?
No, no reason. Might have a reason to, I don't know, talk to him, get to know him a bit.
Well, it'd be nice to have you both getting along. You can roll inside on this.
Yep, I'll roll inside on that. That is an H.
You know what? I'm giving you advantage. You know this guy. You live with him.
That is still an H.
Oh my god. Fine, I'm with an I'm so tempted to just ignore the bad rule and just give it to
I
you
mean,
anyway.
this is
An
an
FPS.
FPS.
Yeah, like his face actually grows a little softer when he's talking about Jack. Like you can tell that he really cares about the guy, even if he complains a lot.
Well, Bon said that we'd get along, or something like that.
Yeah, you both probably would, wouldn't you? Try not to get into too much trouble together, though.
I promise not to destroy anything. Too bad.
That I guess that's the best I can hope for. And as they stand there, mm, as they stand there, like rather quietly, like the air's lifted a bit, and Sal's like thinking before he goes. Remember what? Remember what you said about making bad decisions when you were angry?
Yeah.
I haven't in the ACCR. I haven't told you what happened, have I?
No, you just kind of danced around it. Gil's going to just kind of get a little closer to Mersel and then lower his voice. Would it make you feel better if nobody knew but me? And we can whisper like this.
Yeah, it's a laugh behind his hand. Good. Yeah, it's a. Well, you already know he's a half Mara, right?
Yeah. Uh,
And how much do you know about Maras?
um, I, I know they're dark fairies. Okay. That was a 19 plus 5
Oh
for
gosh, that's
history.
wonderful.
Um, they eat nightmares? I think that's it, yeah. When I was reading about them, There's some kind of event some long, long time ago.
Yes and no. As far as I remember, they eat fear and they cause it by giving nightmares, I think.
Right, yeah.
And well, their smoke can kind of do that. And,
Oh.
hmm. Oh, well, he got all three of us. We didn't know we couldn't stop breathing in this move. Tobias tried to spell magic, but it didn't work.
Mm,
And well, yeah, he locked us, all three of us, in nightmares.
I see. Okay.
I was lucky. It didn't get a hold of me. He got details wrong, and I reasoned myself out of it. But Prim was in longer than I was, and Tobias was under the longest.
Mm-hmm.
It's well, part of the reason why I wanted you to go with someone when you finally confront him. Hell, go with me. Yes, he's dangerous, but also it's good to have someone to, in the event that he pulls that again. At the very least, like you'll have someone to snap you out of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so be prepared for that. He's gonna roll hammer space. Yeah, and pull out a notebook and actually make a note. um, if you look over, you see he's got a lot of notes.
And Sal's quiet for a little while longer, and then he actually gives a small like smile, and it's not one you've seen from him before. Actually, this one looks kind of like self-satisfied and just a smidge malicious. I could have attacked him, but the nightmare made me hesitate to do that, and I was preoccupied with trying to wake Prim and Toby up. But I did give him some parting words before he left.
Oh.
Kept bringing up my old name. He kept bringing up my old last name.
Yeah.
So I told him. He kept saying that you know, couldn't possibly become a better person, right? And and I told him he better had hope that I became a better person. Otherwise, I would rip his spine out through his throat.
Amazing.
Well, he was like he was such a coward. Like he was he was glowing and he looked like Mara and he looked monstrous and he didn't look like himself at all. But the second I said that, he started like backing away a little and then he left.
Oh. The
And his insults
puppeteers are
were
all cowards.
yeah. His insults were well, I won't deny that they hurt, but if he was trying to use vicious mockery, it didn't work. It didn't hurt me at all.
Mm-hmm.
Such a coward.
And Gil puts away his notebook. And he looks up at Mersel and grins and says, "So,
Hmm?
how's borrowing Stopheles for you?"
And he actually like has to cover his mouth to keep from like laughing, and like he goes, "Oh, it was fun. You should have seen the person. Like you should have seen their faces in the drive-through."
Oh man.
You
I
know,
was just watching you guys from afar with Bob because we went there for lunch. After I set your workplace's roof on fire.
Oh god, we didn't see you, but then again, we were distracted. Did you see Roach shoot the panini out of the air?
I didn't know what you guys were talking about. I did see one of them was all over the ground. What a waste.
It was. Road search that paninis aren't real.
do do they know it's just a grilled sandwich? That's just what you call a grilled sandwich.
Exactly, they asserted that it was just a grilled sandwich. And I think we unleashed the monster because now Chuck is calling everything sandwiches. I heard him call a gyro a sandwich yesterday, and I almost throttled him myself.
And I think on that note, we're going to end the FPS because Gil's not going to talk about future plans anymore right now.
Yeah, that's fair. I just have one thing to ask.
Hmm.
Is Gil gonna ask why Saul was dressed the way he was when he was at Panini Queen?
All right. So after laughing for a bit, Gil's going to go, "Oh, if you really wanted to get into fashion, why didn't you just ask me?"
And so, guys are close, so and you kind of get the impression that his eyes are darting to and fro, and he suddenly looks very shifty, like he's hiding something. Uh, uh, hmm. Um,
Gil rolled a 4. Gil is not no way.
oh god, Gil. Sounds good.
And on
Well,
that note, we're gonna end the FPS.
that was fun. Thank you for playing with me, Heart.
That was fun. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Goodbye.
Bye. Thanks for listening.